standpoint, although also there's to some degree Muslim standpoint, I would love to see the paradigm maybe where he examines the biblical text and says, okay, this is what it's actually saying. Because I think he's really good at doing that. He's really good at analyzing text and saying, like different angles to it. I'm sure understanding it is very clear that according to the biblical narrative angles, even the word of Jesus quoted, that he would be killed or he would be dead from in the vehicle. But I was hearing that point about comparing how Jonah was the dead fish to Jesus being in the heart of the earth and it being alive and stressing it like being alive. Another perspective I've heard about this is that as Jonah was in the belly of the fish, which just means that he was a belly fish, so it's a now in the heart of the earth. So whether dead or alive, it doesn't matter in space, then you see.
Hi, Peter. Did you say anything? Hi, Peter. We shall start at 7 p.m. So we have 2 minutes in our hands. So if you want to talk to me, we can talk. Then at 7 p.m. we should start. Can you hear me? Good evening from Bangladesh, dear respected colleagues and participants. Welcome to the session on project management processes. This is a 2 hours long sessions and we shall cover all the project management process groups in this session as per the PMBOK Guide 7th edition. As I am suspicious that you can see my presentation or not, so that I am also sharing the presentation with you in your inbox so that you can download it and open it if you face any technical difficulty. Visibility of my presentation. So I've shared the PDF file of this presentation, and now you can easily access this file if you can't see my presentation. So welcome to all of you again for joining today's session. And earlier I mentioned that the topic of today's presentation is project management processes, all 5 process groups as per the PMBOK guide, means Project Management Body of Knowledge by the PMI USA, Project Management Institute, PM USA. So let's start. And you know that all of our courses are like in 2 parts. First half is presentation, theoretical presentation, and second half is exercise or workshop. But I think I'm sorry in advance that today's presentation is fully theoretical presentation, means a fully lecture method. I'll try to make it a bit accessible for you and participatory for you. After my theoretical presentation, I'll try to show you some calculation presentation by PMTA, Project Management Training Africa. Then you will see the things in one place together. So let's start. I am Nur Mustafa Kamal Jafari. I am PMP, means Project Management Professional, certified by PMI USA. Also, I did some other certifications by, means DPRO certifications by, you all know about PM4 development and PM4 NGOs USA. And also I did some other project management related courses. I'm working in development, humanitarian, emergency, and teaching sector for the last 20 years. And now I am a project management professional working with a local NGO in Bangladesh. So today our objective is to describe you the 5 project management process groups to you and to give you a very clear understanding on the process groups so that you can have an opportunity to keep the things all together. And when you are confused during your management of a project, you can easily understand what is the process I am working with. And also you can refer yourself. So the theoretical presentation will allow you to understand the theory. I have another presentation where I'll try to make you more referable the processes so that you can refer and you can think, you can recap the process when you will face a problem or you will implement an activity or a process or a method or a technique or a task in real time when you are a project manager in your practical project management career or life or in your practical field. And we know that there are 5 process groups in project management: the initiating processes, the planning processes, the executing processes, monitoring and controlling processes, closing processes. While I discuss about the project management process groups, I must remind you that these are PMI process groups. But interestingly, if anybody of you has knowledge or orientation with DPRO PM phase model, which is provided by PM4NGOs USA, who offers PMD Pro, PDMD Pro, MailD Pro, and FMD Pro certifications. They have a project management model, which is called DPro PM phase model. And they have 5 project phases: project setup and identification, then project planning, then project implementation, then project closure. And they have an ongoing method, which is project monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning, means the MAIL. But MAIL is not a phase in DPRO model. So please don't confuse with PM phase model, means DPRO PM phase model, with these project process groups. So these project management process groups are developed by PMI USA, and the DPRO PM phase model is developed by PM4NGOs USA. My colleagues from our PGDPM and EMBA courses, they already have been oriented on the PM phase model. So you can compare with the PM process groups and PM phase model. I would request the other colleagues, once you leave the class today, I would request you to have an eye with Project DPRO Guide. Let me share with the Project DPRO Guide right now so that you can have an opportunity to look at it, because Project Management DPRO Guide means PM DPRO Guide. They have their own approach of project management, but that is a phase model. But these are the process groups that will help us during our work as a project manager. The processes are not to understand project management, but to work as a project manager in real life and to implement our knowledge the way it should be. So the process groups are the method to imply in our practical project management life, where the phase models helps to understand the phases of the project. I would request you now to ask me any questions and confusions regarding PM phase model and project management process groups. I have shared the DPRO guide with you, so you can read the DPRO guide once the class is over or the session is done. Now, if you have any questions regarding PM process group, means project management process group, and PM phase model or project management phase model, if you have any confusions or questions, and if you want to ask question in Bangla, you can ask questions in Bangla and I will reply in Bangla. Okay, so let's start with the project management process groups or PM process groups. So as a project manager, we need to implement 5 processes, 5 types of processes to close our project, to implement our project, to start our project, and to close it. The process groups are initiating processes, the planning processes, the executing processes, monitoring and controlling processes, and closing processes. Means there are many sub-processes in each group. That's why these are called process groups. Means there are 5 groups and each process group has many other processes. So the 5 process groups are initiating processes, planning processes, executing processes, monitoring and controlling processes, and closing processes. Why processes? Because in each group there are many processes, means more than one processes. That's why they are using the term processes, means plural, not singular. And all the processes are making one single group. Any question do you have? If you want to ask, you can. Otherwise, I am moving ahead. Okay. Now proceed. G, please. Okay. So the slide is here. I have already discussed it. Again, I am discussing in short. I don't know. I'm not sure that you can see my screen. I'm really confused because I close it and again, let me share it. So let us look at the process groups again and project phases again. Project phases. So there are concepts which is project setup and identification and definition phase as per PM phase model. Then development means project setup, project implementation, project closeout. And monitoring control means mail and monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning throughout all phases. So these are project phases. Now process groups. The first process is initiation, means project concept or project identification and definition. Then project planning means project setup. Then execution means project implementation. Then closing. Now 4 processes, same as project phases of PM phase model. Now there is only one extra process, that is monitoring and control. But in PM phase model, monitoring and control has been an inbuilt process, which will be alive throughout all the phases. And the project process group does not disacknowledge it. Project process group acknowledge it, but the purpose of PM process groups is to give us a list of processes that we need to implement in our practical project life. For example, I am initiating the project. And to initiate project, I am conducting a needs assessment. Now, for need assessment or for this initiation, there are some processes. And also during those processes, I need monitoring and control. It means even when we discuss project process groups independently, and we are also discussing monitoring and control independently, it's true, and we must not forget that monitoring and control is a separate process. It is inbuilt during all the processes, all the phases. But the purpose of these list of process groups is to give us a list of processes so that we can ensure the quality of our project and we can manage our projects efficiently and effectively with the success we want to achieve, the outcomes we want to achieve or reach. Okay, now we are starting to discuss about each processes. Again, we have 5 processes: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. 5 processes: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. So these are 5 processes, process groups, and each process groups we have different processes. Now, in total, we will get 49 processes under each process groups. We shall talk about it in the second half of my presentation. This is the theoretical presentation. I have another presentation on this same thing to give you some kind of calculative overview of the processes. In initiating processes, the processes are: number 1, defining and authorizing the project. Means preparing the project proposal, the budget, and other things, like basically the project concept note, not the project proposal, but the concept note. Then prepare project charter means taking authorization and with a detailing of resources we need from the donor or authority. Then register stakeholder, making a list of stakeholders who are included in this project. Then determining if the project is or continuing, should be redirected or cancelled. Then taking approval from the donor that we are now ready to undertake the project. May take place the beginning of each phase. Re-examine the business need. It's simple. It's not that much important, but the previous points are very important. Then planning process. So in initiating processes, we prepare the project charter, means the project concept note, project proposal, project budget, a log frame, and the approval materials like FD6 and other materials that are needed to take approval from the government authorities. So these are the initiation, means initiating the project or setting the project for going through the planning process. Now, planning processes. In this phase, we need to prepare the plans, like we prepare a scope management plan, like we make a project implementation guide, PIG, or we prepare the other plans like procurement plan, human resource management plan, cost management plan, project schedule, means TIP, detailed implementation plan. We make the budget casting. We create the other reporting formats, other like monitoring and evaluation plan, controlling plan. All the planning materials and tools and techniques and strategies are defined during this stage, and these are the planning processes. So what the things should be done, this is the list. So we shall go to the detailing on each process groups in my next slides. Let me finish this theoretical presentation first. Then execution processes. So now you initiate the process, you have made all the plans in place, and you get approval in the plans from your senior authority or senior management team, SMT, and now you will start executing the project or implementing the project. Now, what you need is you need to hire or you need to recruit and you need to mobilize the team members and other resources. be it financial resources, material resources, communication resources, and other things, and including the office and the warehouses and the other things you need. Then you need to finish procurement. It doesn't mean that you can finish the procurement at the very beginning of the project, but you need to finish some basic procurement. At the same time, the procurement will go on and on during the execution phase. And also during execution, you need to manage the stakeholders from approval to information to inception meeting, conducting regular team meeting, and reporting to the donor and the other stakeholders, reporting to the investors, organizing a donor meeting, a stakeholder meeting, or a meeting with investors, and informing the investors about the improvement, and informing and communication with the senior management team or the project sponsors, our project management committee. Then also starting implementing the activities and producing the results and services, and perform quality assurance. During execution, I have to ensure that project quality is assured, and project quality is as per the standard set by the donor or the investor or the senior management team or project sponsor or the government of the country. Then monitoring and controlling processes is measure progress against all plans. We have different plans, and the monitoring and controlling team or mail team or controllers or the auditors, they will ensure that the project is going ahead as per the plans earlier made and agreed by the senior management team and project management team. Take corrective actions when there is deviation, because we know that we follow it through IPTT, indicator performance tracking table, or budget variance analysis report. So we need to make sure that we are taking corrective measures or actions where there are some deviations, and we need to communicate with donor and investors and senior management team regarding any change requests. Also, you need to report the monitoring status of the project activities. And during these, we need to make sure that we are checking and monitoring the quality of activities and products and services given and delivered by the project teams as per the quality standard set by the government or the donor or investors, and also the expectation of stakeholders are met. We need to ensure through project monitoring and controlling. So project monitoring and controlling processes are the processes where there is a list of the processes where we make sure the quality standards and the expectation of stakeholders are being met. And also in this process, we report the performance of the project team and the standard of the project activities to stakeholders. And also we need to make sure that there are changes needed to ensure the standard, and also we need to report the change request to the donor and investors and senior management team, and we need to secure that we are getting approval from them. So the monitoring and controlling processes lists down all the processes need to implement. Now, how planning, execution, and control works together. There is a small presentation. For example, the yellow box is planning. We start planning. Then we start executing the project after planning. But during planning and execution, monitoring and control should happen. And monitoring and control team and monitoring and control process will inform the stakeholders, and stakeholders will create a change request to the project team, and project team will implement it through replanning reviewing the plan, and it can be happen. And also the monitoring and controlling process will produce some performance report, which will be delivered to the stakeholders, and stakeholders will make it a change request, and it will be going to the planning process, and the project planners will review the plans and reintegrate the change requests in the plans. So plans are living documents, and it needs to be updated when there is a change request by the stakeholders through monitoring and control. Now, finally, the process groups. It's about closing the project efficiently, archiving all the project files, closing out all contracts with vendors, staff members, donors, government authorities, local suppliers, volunteers, consultants, and also the banking authorities and auditing authorities, and receiving formal certification from the authors, from the government authorities or the stakeholders in applicable cases. So, what are the outcomes of each process? Initiation process, all the project charters are ready. Budget, project proposal, log frame, IPTT, not IPTT, sorry, log frame. These are the project charters, and it may be the contract agreement, FD67, all the things. Then now planning means the IPTT, meal plan, human resource plan, procurement plan, DIP, detailed implementation plan, project timeline. All the things should be prepared in planning stage. Execution means executing the activities. Then controlling and monitoring, which is also interchangeable term with MEAL, monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning, for development and humanitarian sector, but for industry and IT and construction sector, this is monitoring and controlling. Then closing. So there is a research result. The alpha project managers who are trained and who work with processes, they invest 2% of their time for initiating, and 69%, 21% of their time for planning, 69% of their time for executing, monitoring and controlling 5%, and closing 3%. So the entire project time is, if it is 100%, so they implement their activity like this. The other project managers, they take a lot of time when execution. Why? Because they invest less time in planning. When you don't have a proper plan, basically you need to rework during the project implementation or project execution. So there are a lot of rework, and a lot of rework means a lot of time is being consumed, a lot of budget is being abused, and also you are meeting less scope of the project, means you can complete less activities. So the chapter is closed again. Simple reminder, there are 5 project management process groups or PM process groups: the initiating process, planning process, executing processes, monitoring and controlling processes, and closing processes. For development and humanitarian workers, monitoring and controlling is replaced by MEAL, monitoring, evaluation, accountability, and learning. So I am closing this presentation. If you have any questions, please, I can switch to the slides. If you have any questions, you can ask, we can discuss, then I'll switch to my second presentation, which is a bit kind of numerical, kind of indicative. Okay, if you don't have any questions, I am stopping sharing this presentation. Before sharing the other presentation, let me share it with you first, so that if my screen doesn't work as you expect, you can open that presentation for your reference. So please download and open slide number 2. This is a PDF file. You can open it, and also in the meantime, let me share the screen. So I think I cannot share this screen. Sorry. It's not working. I request you to open the file, the PDF file I sent you, PMU 1035 slides 2 file, the last one. And you can see the okay. So let's start from the page number 1, slide number 1. In this slide, you see one thing. So there are 4 project phases as per PMBOK guide. Initiation phase, and group is initiating group. Planning phase, group is planning group, process group. Execution phase, there are 2 subgroups. Executing subgroup, then monitoring and controlling subgroup. Then close out means closing subgroups. Now, we know that there are 10 knowledge areas of project management as per PMBOK guide. So the 10 knowledge areas are project integration, project scope, project schedule management, project cost management, project resources management, project communication management, project risk management, project procurement management, and project stakeholder management. All the knowledge areas have been discussed for the colleagues of PGTPM and EMBA. So you can repeat the processes. Now, during initiating process groups, there are 1 process for integration, 1 process for stakeholder. Means during project initiation, I need 2 processes. In terms of initiating, 1 is integration, 1 is stakeholder. Then regarding project integration, for project integration, in planning, I have 1 process group. In executing, 2 process groups. In monitoring and control, 2 process groups. In closing, 1 process group for integration. It means for integration, I have have 7 processes. I have to maintain 7 processes. And for initiating, I have also only 2 processes. One is during integration and another is regarding stakeholders. Now let us come to planning process groups. In planning processes, I have 24 processes. If I do finish 24 processes, my planning will be 100% okay. 1 process is regarding integration, 4 processes regarding scope management, 5 processes regarding schedule management, 3 processes are regarding cost management, 1 process is regarding quality management, 2 processes regarding resource management, 1 process is regarding communication, 5 processes regarding risk management, 1 process for procurement, 1 process for stakeholder. Means during project planning, I have to look after 24 processes. If I finish 24 processes related to 10 knowledge areas of project management, I can fully confident that my project planning is 100% okay. Now my planning is done, maintaining 24 processes. Now I start execution. During execution, I need to maintain only 10 processes. 2 is integration, 1 is quality, 3 is resources, 1 is communication, 1 is risk, 1 is procurement, and 1 is stakeholder. Total 10 processes. If I maintain total 10 processes regarding during my project implementation or execution, I can ensure that my project is maintaining quality and quantity, and I can achieve my project goal or project outcomes. Now monitoring and control. To monitor and control the project during execution, there are 12 project processes I need to implement. 2 integration, 2 scope, and all other knowledge areas, 1 process. Total 12 processes. If I maintain 12 processes during my project implementation or execution, I can ensure that all the project activities or services or tasks are done as per quality. Now project closing, only 1 process, that is integration. So total processes 49 process in 5 process groups. So how many process groups? 5 process groups. Initiating, total 2 processes. Planning, total 24 processes. Executing, total 10 processes. Monitoring and control, total 12 processes. And closing, total 1 process. In total, 49 processes. There is no relation with process group and project phase. For development colleagues, for humanitarian colleagues, please, our project management phases are same, but processes are to make sure that I am a perfect project manager. If I can keep the processes in my mind during each phase, I can ensure 100% success of my project. Now let us go ahead. Now, let us come to one understanding. The PMBOK has laid out phases into 4 phases: initiation, planning, execution, and closeout. In initiation, they put project identification, definition, and project setup all together in one place, initiation. So ideally, in PMBOK guide, there are 4 pages. In DIPRO guide, there are 5 pages, but the thing are same. How? The PMBOK model has project identification and definition, phase 1, phase 2, project setup. So in PMBOK guide, they put only 1 phase, that is initiation. So project identification, definition, and project setup is kept together in initiation. That's why in PMBOK guide, there are 4 phases. And with that 4 phases, the PMBOK guide put monitoring and control in execution, under execution. but the team provide agrees that the monitoring and controlling will start from the very beginning, means from initiation or from project identification and definition to project closure. We have to monitor and control in each phase. So the thing is like that. So please don't be confused. And the knowledge areas are the area of expertise. Means I have to have the expertise of integration, the scope management expertise, schedule expertise, cost management, quality management, resources management, communication management, risk management, procurement management, and stakeholder management. These are knowledge areas. Means as a project manager, I have to have knowledge on management of all these 10 things. I have to have knowledge about integration. I must know how to manage the stakeholders. I must know how to do the procurements. Like as a project manager, I need to know how to prepare a procurement plan. And also I need to have the expertise to translate, means the capacity to interpret the procurement plan. If I don't understand procurement plan, I cannot guide the procurement officer. Maybe I am not the procurement officer, or I'll not be procuring or purchasing the materials, but still now I have to give them the insight. I have to give them the leadership. So these things means integration, scope, schedule, cost, quality, resources, communication, risk, procurement, stakeholder. I am talking from slide number 2 or page number 2 of the last presentation I have sent to you. Please open it and go to page number 2. So these are knowledge areas. Means I, as a project manager, I have to have knowledge. Then project phase. Project phase is a theoretical thing. As a project manager, we have nothing to do with project phases, but processes. Process means the activity I have to perform to implement or to make the project successful. These are the list of tasks, the 49 process or 49 tasks. Now let's go in detail. Page number 3.
By send this document to my WhatsApp number.
1 second. Give me 1 second. The last document.
All of these documents. All of these.
Okay. Let me do one thing. Let me send you the first one first, because I'm discussing it right now. I'm sending the last one first. Please open it and go to page number 2.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Please open the document and please go to page number 2. I have sent it already to you. Now page number 2. Suppose you will initiate a project. So you will do many things. During planning, you will do many things. During execution, you will do many things. During monitoring and control, you will do many things. During closing, you will do many things. And so, for example, during monitoring and control, I am meeting with the mail team monthly. I am taking report from them. So this is a process I am putting in place. This is a process. And this process is a knowledge of integration. Means when you do implement this process, you have project implement integration management knowledge. The same thing happened, scope management, scope planning. the same thing happened: schedule, cost management, quality management, resources, communication, risk, procurement, and stakeholder. I think I'll send you the PMBOK 5th edition guide today so that you can have a look at this book. Because if you don't read the PMBOK guide, you will not understand properly the things really together. Okay, last file is not opening. Okay, I think it has just opened. Please try it again. So I am also sharing two important material with you. And then I would request you one thing, that understanding process groups is a bit tough. I would better request you to study the process groups very carefully and to go through the materials. I have shared all the materials already in the Skype group, and please download it and have a look on the materials. And I think then you can understand the project management process groups, because process groups are very important. We need to understand the process groups as we implement the project in field. And one thing is important for all of us, that if we can implement the process groups in practical project management, then only we can really achieve the project as it is intended. Once you have the opportunity to study the process groups, you can understand the things very easily. In the meantime, if you have any question, I'll be available in WhatsApp, so I can answer your questions if you don't understand the process groups. And please, I have sent two important material PDF files. The last one is very important. This is PMBOK guide version 5, but still now there is no more not that much change in terms of process groups. So let me write down the page number for you, where you will find the process groups in LM2, means Learning Materials 2. This is the PMBOK Guides 5th edition. I have downloaded it from a government website of Bahraini government. So I have no conflict of interest, as the book is copyrighted in the name of PMI, Project Management Institute, USA. But I downloaded the book from the government website of Bahrain. So if you go to page number 41 of the book, I'm writing it here. Page 41 of PMBOK Guide, 5th edition. You will find the process groups in detail. So if you have any question, you can ask, as there is no workshop today. So we'll close the class a bit earlier. As this is a very theoretical class, we have limitation in terms of bringing any tools or materials to practice. Otherwise, it would be nice to bring tools and materials to practice and to workshop. I love workshop-based classes. If you have any questions, please go ahead. Then we'll close the session. Okay, if you don't have any question, I request you to the combined assignments I have sent to you. Please finish the combined assignment as early as possible. Once you finish it, then we will share the other assignments because you are also busy people. I want to make sure that we can finish the course by December because from January there will be very high fees and high other charges. Already our project PGDPM course is now 24,000. So from January, the prices will be much higher. So please kindly send us the combined assignment as early as possible. Then we will send you the assignments only to the PGDPM and PMBA colleagues, but the colleagues who are out of the formal courses, please make sure that write down your full name and email address here so that we can share the course certificate with you, especially Smita. Smita, please write down your full name and email address here so that we can share your certificate of today's webinar, and the other colleagues will get your certificate also. And have already shared. Okay, Azul Bhai, I think this is you need to open it from your laptop, not from mobile, because this is a slideshow. That's why this is a very protected file.
I will try.
Yes.
I will try. Is this the class? Last class? Is this our last class?
No, this is no. This is not last class. We have many other classes every Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. Additionally, I'll share the video link with you in the group and in this group. And also, the materials have been already shared. Please download the material. And thank you very much. Smita, please write down your full name and in the chat box, not in WhatsApp, but in the Skype. Thank you very much. Good night. Have a nice week.